Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me here today. And if you'd like to follow along, we will be back in the 18th chapter of Proverbs, beginning in the, excuse me, beginning in the 23rd verse. Beginning and ending in the 23rd verse. For the day and tomorrow, yesterday, we're just looking at one proverb each day because the topics change. These are somewhat, well, I guess you would say, standalone Proverbs. You'll really see that in just a moment. Yesterday we talked about the value of a wife, of a spouse. Then today, verse 23, he says, "The poor useth entreaties, but the rich answereth roughly." And so obviously we have changed topics dramatically. And what that is saying, and again, the King James makes it a little bit difficult to just read and go, oh, yeah, got it. But he's telling us that he's talking to us here about how we look at those who are less fortunate, those who are in poverty, and how the rich treat the poor. Now, I'm certain that probably 99.9% of the people who are joining us here today would say, well, I am the poor, I'm not the rich. Most of our audience here today is American, and by the world standards, you are more than rich. You may not be Bill Gates rich or Jeff Bezos rich, but compared to the majority of the world, the average American, as we've been told, we throw away more than many people eat. But the idea of poor here is also just simply those that are less fortunate, those who are unable to take care of their selves. It's not talking about those that won't work, but those who are unable to take care of themselves, unable to supply for their own needs. And he's saying that those people we are to show mercy on. We are to be gentle with. And each of us should, as much as we can, be willing to help those that are who are less fortunate. Again, we're talking about those who are unable to help themselves, not those who refuse to help themselves, who are lazy, who are making bad choices and bad decisions, but to seek God, to seek His leadership on how it is that we might be able to use what He has blessed us with to help others. He says, unfortunately, he says, often the rich answer roughly. That they're coarse, that they're mean, they treat the poor they treat the poor poorly. And again, it doesn't necessarily mean that we have finances or whatever that we would give to the poor, but that there are other ways that we are able to help. Maybe working in volunteering in a food ministry, a food kitchen, something along those lines, that we would be willing to help those who are less fortunate than we are. Unfortunately, again, he says, too often the rich answer roughly. Let's not be one that answers roughly today. Let's be one that represents Christ, not just to those who are less fortunate, but to all that we come into contact with. Let's represent Jesus well. Have a good day, and we will see you back here tomorrow morning.